Assalamu alaikum, dear all. I hope you all are doing good. Let's start with the dua. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. My dear sisters and dear viewers, I hope you all are doing well and hanging in there. So today is our book club day, and the idea behind the book club, as we discussed even before, is to socialize, is to come and hang out with one another. And this is like a virtual hangout that we're going to be doing. So we want you guys to be part of this. So over here in the Epic studio, there is myself, and I have with me Sister Afreen over here. And as you guys know, that we wanted more people to be part of this, because book club is no fun unless we have at least a group of women. But as we know, and as you all know, that we are all practicing social distancing, and not but we are making it like a physical distancing from one another, but we wanted it to not to be like social distancing as much, so we can still interact and connect with one another and have this hangout where we can have like an informal talking and exchange of comments that we all are very much missing these days, inshallah. So, and for that reason, we have selected this book. In the previous meetings, we also sent the link of the book, the PDF link. You can be the happiest woman in the world. Very easy to follow book, very easy to understand. And me and Sister Afreen will be exchanging thoughts on that. But in between that, we will be looking for your comments, your questions, anything, maybe you would like to make like a light comment, anything. And I tell you, this is very important. I have been doing this with my students too at the university. As we all know, and you might all know that, we are having Zoom classes and I teach at University of North Texas. And over there, we are teaching through Zoom classrooms. And believe it or not, our students are feeling so lonely at this point that after the class, we make it a point that we hang out for a little while, talk about things and, exchange some thoughts. This is important for us, and you won't believe it, but the other day, one of the students, he messaged me from the campus, because there are still some students on the campus. They have nowhere to go, believe it or not. So usually the university has like 6,000 students, but now still 1,000 are on campus because they cannot go back home. They belong to other countries, international students. So one of the students texted me late at night, and she was saying that I'm walking around the campus looking for somebody to talk to, because I have not talked to anyone in so many days. So just imagine that. So Alhamdulillah, through this virtual setup at our Masjid, we can interact, we can talk. And today, the only reason to start this book club was to interact with one another informally. You must have been watching, mashallah, we have lectures, we have programs, we have knowledge-based programs going on. But today is our day for us to hang out together. Okay, so let's go into the book, and through the book we will interact with our comments and questions. And please do send your comments and questions. We want to interact with you. We want to see what you guys are thinking these days, what's on your mind, anything. So, and it's a sisters group, and we want for you guys to be a part of this, inshallah. So Afreen, what did you think about the book? The first two chapters, what did you find very interesting?
Assalamu alaikum, dear sisters. Alhamdulillah, it was the first two chapters were very interesting. MashaAllah, I felt like there's a lot of content in a really concise way. The author has really, Dr. Aid Al-Qudni has really brought a lot of wisdom into these two chapters. The first one. The first chapter, of course, he just goes through the way he welcomes women the first time.
That's very interesting. Yes. The way he welcomes the women to the book, that's a very interesting thing.
Like all the positive characteristics are being listed in such a nice way, mashallah, welcoming as mothers, as cherishers, as nourishers. Like so many beautiful titles are given to women, and the way he welcomes them is really beautiful. And of course, then he goes into the yeses, all the yeses that we should be doing, and the no's that we shouldn't be doing. What caught my eye here was in the yeses was to was the friendship of good women who fear Allah and love Islam and respect high values. Just shows the importance of friendships and what we're doing right here, trying to connect with our sisters and have that bonding
together.
Even though
it's virtual. It's virtual. We are experiencing it for the first time, how to be friends virtually.
Right, exactly. That is how the world is right now.
That is how the world is right now. That's true.
So, and what caught my really, the first 2 points in the nose was something I would really want to apply myself and would advise all my sisters to apply as well.
Okay, what was that?
Do not waste time after trivial pursuits, and also giving priority to money and accumulating wealth and all these going after materialistic things. How we all, us as women, get caught up in all these things and just, spend our time. Right now with the shutdown, I've really realized how I'm thinking of so many sisters who must be missing shopping. All of us, that's one big pastime for us.
Yes, that's true.
So that's something that caught my eye, that this is teaching us how to connect with Allah and be by ourselves and really reflect on what we've been doing. Alhamdulillah, we can really relate this book to the present.
Present, yes. So, and one more thing that I realized in this book while you were saying that wasting time. I was listening to a program and they were talking about mental health, and one thing that really mentioned was really caught my eyes about wasting time. It says in today's time, when we have a lot of time on our hands, there's no going anywhere, there's not studying, nothing like that. One thing that will bring mental health to people is to have a routine. It says, make routine for your children, make you routine for yourself, because if you are going to go through the day without any routine, without any allocation of time to do this and that, by the end of like a couple of weeks, you will feel lost.
Right.
And you will feel like depression and anxiety because you don't know how to go through your day.
Right.
Because, I think Sister Afreen, that before this shutdown, we all had such, tough routines. Right. We were going here and there and we had to do this, and all of us were saying, there is no time, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, but now we're saying, because you have time, so go through the day, plan your day, plan your hours, and this will help you to have mental, stability.
There's so much to ponder upon, when, especially reading this chapter, the first one where he has given 10 thoughts to ponder upon. And this is the time that we can use to ponder upon so many things and think about what really our life needs and what really our existence means, right? So the one thing that really touched my heart in these 10 thoughts was where the author is saying, be like that tall tree with high aims. If a stone is thrown at it, it simply lets its fruit down.
Wow, so amazing example. And even somebody's throwing a fruit at a tree, is just gonna drop the fruit.
Even if it applies to all of us. We go through so much negativity around us many times, and we want to take revenge and do the same stuff that we got. But this really made me think that, you have to raise above that.
Yes.
You have to really, even if the rock is thrown at a tall tree with high aims, it's not going to throw rocks back. It's going to throw the fruit down.
It's going to throw the fruit down.
So give the goodness that the tree has.
Yes.
Rather than, giving back what you got.
Even if they're hurt, they are going to reply back with some positivity.
Exactly. So you give what you actually have in your heart. So we need to really work on ourselves and be like that. This really touched me.
Oh, wow.
So many times, so many times you feel like when you get the negativity, you become negative as well.
Yes,
but
exactly.
You need to ponder upon, really, are you negative? Are you the person that you're trying to be? You have to really think and be that good person.
Yes.
And give back what you have rather than trying to react in the way that others are doing.
And talking about giving back, if you look at the media now, you see so many campaigns that people are giving. This calamity came in, and you might see that yes, we have many things, many issues coming up, but you see a lot of goodness.
Yes, absolutely.
Just imagine that there are many people who are being like these tall trees. There was this video that I saw that in Turkey, people left a pile of food on the road. that anyone can come, and they were so neatly made. There was a bag of rice, there was this, and anyone can come and pick it up. Just imagine that. There was a telethon that I was looking at on the TV. People are giving immense amount of money. So for people who are on daily wages, they have given that they can survive through that. And alhamdulillah, mashallah, our own community, our own masjid, mashallah, all that relief boxes that are being given out to the neighbors. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this opportunity to do this dawah at this time.
Absolutely.
It's an amazing thing. Yeah, mashallah, our women, the sisters in our community, you were telling me that day, the whole group of women who come together, and they are on that group, and they're going to take the calls, and they're going to give out.
Yes, that is the project mashallah, our Epic started. And
that's a project, and mashallah, even the sisters of the community, they are not here, but they are involved. And you were telling me the other day, Aminah, they really need to do something. Sisters are like, they want to help, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So alhamdulillah, that's very amazing. Yes.
With everything, I think there is an opportunity. When
there is
Really
opportunity.
do something like I know the situations, it looks so chaotic, but I really think there's opportunity in this too.
Yeah.
We were never so techno-friendly. We were never using technology the way we are using now.
Yes, of course.
So we are
and just in a matter of days, we learned this technology, right?
Alhamdulillah, yes, Amna. Alhamdulillah.
And so my dear sisters, you might not be able to see us together because we are practicing social distancing. Sister Afreen is like away from me on the other table, and I'm here, so so we are like way apart. So this is why you're not able to see us together. So it's okay. But we are not able to see any one of you either. But hopefully we'll look at your comments.
Yes, we are connected with our hearts, Aminah.
Yes, that's true. That is true. That is true.
Alhamdulillah. So coming back to the book, Aminah, you asked me what all I found interesting in the first chapter. Another point that this is something, I think the whole essence of the book.
Where is that?
In this point, Amna.
Where is point number?
Do not think that this world is ever perfect for anyone. There is no one on the face of the earth who gets all he wants or is free from all kinds of distress.
Yes.
So I think, I haven't read the whole book yet, but the first 2 chapters, I really think Dr. Aid is trying to convey this message and that optimism in us. And the way, what I get from it is, life is not going to be perfect.
And for no one. Imagine with this virus in front of us, it's not making any differences between rich or poor, powerful or people without any power. It's just everywhere.
Yes,
so life is not perfect for anyone, no matter how much power they have, no matter how much wealth they have accumulated. This virus is showing us that, nothing, when it comes to stress, when it comes to calamity, these things don't matter.
Exactly. So, I mean, there is going to be, no matter who you are, even if you're the richest man, even if you claim to be the happiest person, you're not going to escape distress.
This you cannot.
No matter what. You will go through some trials and tribulations. You will go through ups and downs in your life. And similarly, people who think that their lives are really messed up and really from birth or whatever, they're going through poverty or anything, there are going to be times when they will have happiness. They will have that satisfaction of life. I think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it like that for all of us. There are ups, there are downs, and I think it's our ability to find that contentment. It is within us. It is with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but I think it is within us to find that contentment and satisfaction, to think of this life as beautiful and as, yes, we're going through this right now, but inshallah.
A lot is coming out of it.
Yes.
A lot is coming out of it. And then, I was reading one of the scholars and he was talking about this. He says, how we see that, oh, so-and-so has that. Oh, they're so happy. Oh, look at them. They have a perfect life. And he says, if they were made to take on their worries that they don't know about, then they will say, oh, I was happy the way I am.
Exactly.
I was happy in my situation. I did not know that all of that came with this,
Yeah, true. Absolutely.
And just, I was talking to my sister today in the morning. It says, look at us in America, the most powerful country of the world, but we are dealing with, and in the countries like Pakistan, and the virus is not spreading as much.
Yes, no.
Right? So
we have to lead the way.
we have to lead the way in this too. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we can move on to the next chapter.
I had one more point from this.
Yeah, sure,
I wanted to mention, like, it's an advice for myself and everyone. Really, I really like this advice where he says, extinguish the flames of hatred from your heart by forgiving everyone who has ever hurt you.
Yes.
This is something we all need to work on, and especially at this time, like when we know how suddenly life can change. Everything you had and the way we are now, locked down and by ourselves. Now we're not even dealing with other people to hate them or love them. Of course.
And now we're missing them actually.
Exactly.
Right?
So I think this is something we can really work on right now when we're by ourselves. Like really remove that hatred or remove that any hurt feeling or anything we have. Just forgive, forget, and move on.
Yes, exactly.
This is something I think I want to work on myself too.
Inshallah, inshallah, it will happen. It will happen, inshallah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it something that we keep on working at it until it's time to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah. Okay, so you want to move on to the next chapter?
Yes, sure, Aminah.
Okay.
Chapter 2.
So just before we move on, I really, like this point over here that, be optimistic, for Allah is with you and the angels are praying for forgiveness for you and paradise awaits you. Sometimes when you think about, what's going to happen, and then I think about that, just imagine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has assigned angels to each and every one of us to take care of us, right? So inshallah, everything will be okay, everything will be fine, inshallah. Just look at the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He has not now, any time when a person that comes into this world, Allah has assigned angels to that person that just takes care of that person. It's amazing, the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you know what, we forget about these things,
right.
In the pursuit of this and that. But now when we are realizing, oh mashallah, what a great blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is this.
Right.
Yeah, mashallah. Okay, so let's move on to
first chapter.
Okay, think about it. We talked about it, right? So chapter number 1.
Yeah. Oh, Aminah, this was really something. Mashallah, this is, of course, most of us know the story of Bibi Asiya. So this is beyond human or something, it's a really high level up, but we can always strive to get there, inshallah.
Yes.
The way Asiya radiallahu anha was, how she chose akhirah over dunya.
Yes,
and
true.
How she really asked Allah for a home next to Him, next to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and went through the torture of this world and gave up the palaces, all the luxuries that she could have gotten.
Yes.
I mean, I think no one can be as wise as her. Mashallah, the wisdom that I see in her is amazing. It's just so she sought a home next to our Lord and freed herself from the worldly desires.
Yes, she did.
She completely freed herself, and she asked Allah to give her the home next to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, rather than asking Allah to free her from this torture that she was going through here, being married to Fir'aun and going through the torture that he was torturing her and all that. She basically did not ask for relief in this world. She asked for the home next to Allah subhanahu
wa ta'ala. And this is because the book is for the women, so is talking to women, but this is like a general thing. We all go through that. But having a home, having a house that has this and that and this and that is something like a priority for women in particular. We want a house that looks like that is decorated like that has that. But I think this is a smart way of looking at a home.
Yes.
Because, the homes of the world, that how long are we going to live in them? And if you look at the statistics, usually people get the home that they really, really want, if they can afford it. And it's usually about the time when they're set in their careers, around, within their 40s, they come out. And how long are they going to live in those homes after that? Maybe 20 years, 30 years.
Yeah.
But how long we have to live in the other house?
Yes, eternity.
Right? Eternity, right? Yes. And I think there's one of the chapters in the book that talks about build your home in paradise.
Yes.
How we are so much attached to the homes here. And sometimes, Sister Afreen, you might have seen that too. Sometimes, we do that. We spend so much time in cleaning and decorating and doing this and that for the homes. It's not that we shouldn't do. We should. The house should look clean, organized and everything. But sometimes people really go too much into that.
Yes.
They spend so much of this life into that they really forget about this eternal home, that, how are we decorate that?
Yes.
Over there, the decoration of that home will come through our deeds, right? So but she was smart.
Yeah.
Smart woman.
Aminah, to get, mashallah, to get to that level where, because when we're going through pain, I think all of us, men, women, anyone, we want relief from that. We just ask Allah, please, I don't want to go through this pain.
Yeah.
That would be our first thought.
Yeah.
For her, it was beyond that.
It was beyond that.
She said, it's okay if I'm going through this.
Yes.
I want a home.
Because her vision was on the goal.
Yes.
Yes, she could see through that. Yeah.
MashaAllah, this was amazing.
And I'm sure that palace must have been very beautiful that she was living in.
It says over here in the book with like she had servants, courtiers, luxuries. Like you could name it and she had it all.
Yeah.
But she gave up everything for the sake of Allah, and she wanted to do the right thing.
Yes.
SubhanAllah, this was.
And as
tortured.
And as the author said, she sought a better home that was more lasting and more beautiful. How much we love our homes over here, our houses, and the time we spend on their decoration and all of that. But these homes are not lasting.
No.
Once we have our last breath, the house goes somewhere else, and we are put into the grave.
Yeah.
And that's same for everyone, right?
And alhamdulillah, so when this topic was finishing and I read this last quote on the page, Aminah, be optimistic even if you are in the eye of the storm.
Yeah.
Believe me, I did not see the next page, and the only thing that came to my mind was the ayah from that in the Quran that says Inna ma'al usri yusra.
Inna ma'al usri yusra,
right? And I was thinking of that, and then I look at the next page, and that's exactly what is
That's exactly what's there.
It's so ironic for me.
Oh wow!
I'm starting to think like Dr. Ayat.
Inshallah, why not? Yes.
So the next topic started with this ayah, Inna ma'al usri yusra, where of course after every difficulty there is relief.
After night comes the day, the clouds of worry will be blown away, the darkness of distress will be dispelled, and calamity will come to an end by Allah's leave. Remember that you will be rewarded, and if you are a mother, your children will be a great support and help for Islam if you bring them up properly. I think that was an amazing thing he put in there, that with this idea of innamal usri is with hardship, with calamity, there is. So I was thinking, like, imagine, raising your children is not an easy task. I think all mothers will agree with us that, especially, and we all talk about this when we get together. I think after a little while we talk about clothing, shopping, but then we drift to this topic of
children.
I think every time we get together we talk about this, the challenges of raising a children, the challenges of being a mother. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, with that hardship will come ease. Yes. That if you raise them properly, they will be your great support and a help for Islam. Imagine that ease. And in the beginning of the book, when he was says, oh, the mother of heroes.
Yes.
And if you imagine all these successful people in the world, the great imams, if you read the stories of Imam Shafi'i, his mother was a widow and a very poor woman. But how she made it a point that she wanted her son to be a scholar, and she would take him to sit with the scholars, muhaddisun, and he became a scholar. But the hardship that she went through in raising her son, And just imagine all the books that Imam Shafi wrote, and we still benefit from that. Who gets the ajr of that? So I was really blown away by this point that yes, we think of a calamity like coronavirus, or we lost something, or money was lost, but look at that hardship that we go through, and I think we all talk about this all the time. It's such a thankless job.
Yes.
No matter how much you
never
work,
appreciated.
never appreciated. But Allah is saying, even with this hardship, there will be ease when your children will become a great support for you and for His deen. Imagine we leave these children in the world, and they help the good, they do the good, they help Islam, and you're going to benefit from that as a mother.
Right.
That would be amazing.
Aminah, remember I think the other day we were discussing this, that how women, us sisters, are looking after these titles to get this satisfaction.
Yes.
Every job needs to have a title, and that title needs to be something recognized by the world. And
yes, that we talk about that unless and until we have this title, that you are so and so, and you have so and so career, and you earn so and so money, you're not worth it. And if you're just a mother, like it says just a mother.
Yes.
Like it's a very
just
small
a mother,
job.
Just a housewife.
Just a housewife.
Yes.
Just a mother. But that is the real task. That is this sadly, the Western society has really, what you can say, has degraded the idea of motherhood. And many current statistics show that younger people don't even want to have children.
That's very sad.
Because the society has degraded the idea of motherhood that much, and motherhood is like an impediment to your success now. But over here, I was very glad that, this is the real thing. Yes, all of things we do, it's good. If you have talent, you have ability, and if you want to, yes, become learner, teach, learn, work, everything. But it doesn't mean that, the motherhood is compromised, or it doesn't have a value anymore. Am I right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And also this point, where Dr. I talks about how you have the potential to be the da'i.
Yes.
The da'iyah. This is my passion. Outreach is my passion. I love to work in the outreach, alhamdulillah. So that really caught my eye when he was saying that women have the more potential to be the da'iyah, and calling other women to the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with kind words, good exhortation and wisdom, arguing in a manner that is better, debating and guiding others by means of your good behavior and setting an example. A woman may achieve by means of her conduct and righteous deeds things that cannot be achieved by means of khutbahs, lectures and lessons.
Yes, it's an amazing point.
This was something.
And you first of all, you're a da'iyah to your own family.
Yes.
A mother is like a teacher in the house, and sadly, people have reduced this role to maybe, her job is to like drive the car, take the kids here and there, just clean and cook and make everything look nice. Right. But that's not the real job of the mother. The mother is actually a da'iyah. Yeah. She's a teacher of her family, and yes, the good manner, the wisdom, and it's an amazing thing.
Like the way he puts women, our conduct and righteous deeds above even the khutbahs that ulamas give out, like they're giving lectures and talking so much about Islam and all that.
Yeah.
What is practical has more value than all this talking that we can do.
Yes.
Subhanallah, this really, I really agree.
And I think one thing that we realize over here is that in US. Because we don't live in those big families anymore. Before it was like people used to have big families, they used to live together, and the children in the home would see a grandmother, aunts, uncles. But over here, mostly they only see a mother at home, right? And the father is usually at work, because we live in very nuclear families over here. So the role of the mother becomes even more important. Yes, she is very important. She is the first teacher of the family. But over here, when there is no other people to look at, the role of the mother even becomes more important over here. Yeah.
Absolutely, alhamdulillah. And then he ends the chapter, the Prophet, with beautiful words saying, soon the flowers will bloom, grief will depart, and happiness will prevail.
Yes, and I think this can be applied to everything. The challenges of being a mother, of being a wife sometimes, raising a family, but all of that with all hardship will become ease. one day, inshallah. Yeah,
Inshallah,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
So, look at the next chapter, the next topic in the second.
So, Afreen, we can also interact with the sisters.
Yes, let me see if I got any.
So you don't have it on those.
This one is not showing me up, but I can look up on my phone.
Because if they are posting something, then we can also interact
The
with
book,
them.
one of the sisters is asking the name of the book. The book is called "You Can Be the Happiest Woman in the World," a treasure chest of reminders by Dr. Aid Al-Khudni. And we have in the comments, we have the description of the book, inshallah, the PDF version. It's free. You can always read that, inshallah, and catch up. We've only done 2 chapters by now. And what else do we have on? No, I don't see many questions. They're just saying they agree with most of the stuff.
That's good. They don't have to have questions because it's a very simple to book. Their comments, maybe we can also include them through that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so the next one.
Okay. So, chapter number 2 is
topic 3. Now we are doing topic 3.
Topic 3, which is, it is sufficient honor for you that you are a Muslim. So yes, I think this chapter again, we have all these pursuits that we go after, all good, but this thing that if a woman obeys her Lord, offers 5 daily prayers and preserves her honor, she will enter paradise, of her Lord. And people might think that this is so trivial, but it's not. If you look at that, what our prayers do for us, Prophet ﷺ said that prayer is like a miraj of the mu'min, meaning if you're living as a mu'min, only then your prayer will become a miraj in that day. It's a huge thing.
Right.
People might think, okay, I'm just going to stand in the prayer, it will become. No, it's a miraj of the mu'min, meaning if you're living your life outside that as a mu'min, only then you will be, your prayer will become a huge thing. So what else did you that caught your attention, Afreen, over here?
In this chapter, the last point, Amna, your gold is your religion, your adornment is your moral attitude, and your wealth is your good manners.
Yes, that's an amazing quote. So I think one very amazing thing about this author is that his quotes at the end of the chapters is like the small chapters, and that at the end he gives you like a quote that just brings the message together.
Really, and then he transforms into the next chapter with that quote, and then brings Allah's subhanahu wa ta'ala's ayahs in there from the Quran. Subhanallah.
Subhanallah. Allah is sufficient for us, and He's the best disposer of affairs. Yeah.
La ilaha illallah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one, the believing women and disbelieving women are not equal. In this, I think he's just showing us how fortunate we are to be Muslims.
Yes.
Something that we don't really realize and don't really think about.
Yeah.
We are blessed.
We're blessed, and Afreen, I think we always talk about that too. With this blessing in Islam, every blessing comes with a responsibility. Even if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made us to be born as Muslims. Remember, we always talk about this, that just imagine when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us, He created our arwah, and he and in front of our names He put that we will be born as Muslims, as the followers of Prophet Mohammed. This deen, this amazing deen of Allah will be given to us right from the beginning. Just imagine the huge blessing. But with every blessing comes a responsibility. Yes, believing women and the disbelieving women are not equal, but the believing women have a higher set of responsibilities, being born as a Muslim. So what I just get this from that. What about you?
This is exactly what I thought. This really made me think of, like you said, responsibility, and how we have this responsibility of raising our children to be good Muslims, and
yes,
making them grow up with the values and the religious understanding. The
religious understanding, and again, he puts this over here, is that sometimes we do not understand the blessing and the responsibility that comes with it, and sometimes we also become victim to this kind of a thing. foolish kind of fashions and following the fashion industry. Of course, fashion should be done. Women should dress up. They should look good. Islam stresses upon that. But this blind following that comes with that, cultural industry that comes, that you should look like that and you should act like that and you should say like that and you should have to follow this trend. So women, the believing women, should realize their blessing and their responsibility.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And the next topic, laziness is kin to failure.
But before we go into that, I really like this quote. All people live. The ones who are in a place and the one who lives in a hovel, but who is the one who is happy? And I like this quote very much. Everyone lives. It doesn't matter. All of us live, all of us breathe. But how we live.
Yes.
That's, Socrates said that living an unexamined life is not worth it, meaning you don't understand why are you living, just following this and following that and following that. What kind of a life is that? So everyone is living, but how one lives, that's important.
The goal, you don't have the goal.
Yes, yes. And in today's times, everyone is like, we are worried about, we will die with coronavirus. That's not the problem. We were going to die anyways. Yes.
Exactly.
But it's how we live that will define how we die. What kind of a death? It's not the cause. It's not the cause. Yes, of course, each and every one of us will have a cause to die. But and that is the decree of Allah, that's the plan of Allah. But how we live, that's in our control. Yes.
One of the solutions that, mashallah, he quotes over here, when distress strikes and calamities come one after another, then say, La ilaha illallah. So this is about remembering Allah, connecting with Allah, and knowing that there is no God but Allah.
Yeah.
He's the one who will, inshallah, save us. When you get negative thoughts, of course.
Yes, yes. Yes. So next is very, very interesting, Sister Afri. You were talking about this. Laziness is kin to failure.
Yes.
Are we being lazy these days, Afri?
Very lazy. I know.
Or do you think that it's, I saw a WhatsApp group and they were like, everybody's pooling their, what are they cooking these days? Because, and they were saying everyone has this huge army at home and all the time there's cooking and cleaning and everything going on. So,
Facebook is full of pictures of dishes.
Dishes, because everybody's
cooking.
And yes, and everybody's home and the kids are eating, mashallah,
So, like Sheikh Yasser said the other day, his pantry, his children just devour his pantry and finish it.
Yeah, of course, There was a quote that my daughter was showing me that, we have to practice social distancing from our fridge too.
Yes.
Because you're always standing in front of your pantry or your fridge looking for food. Yeah.
Inshallah. Yeah, it definitely has to have, we have to have some kind of, like you said, a set schedule and some rules and regulations set for ourselves. Otherwise,
yes,
I think all we're going to do is eat and sit.
And sit. And when he's talking about laziness, he's not talking about that you're not working or you're not doing anything. He's talking about you're not living the life is living you. Like you're just going through the day doing the mundane, and we have to do the mundane too.
Right.
You have to cook, you have to clean, you have to sleep, you have to do all of that, but the life should have a goal, a vision, a higher thinking, and there should be a time for these kinds of activities too. Yeah. So what about this chapter, Afreen? What did you like over here?
The sixth one, Aminah?
Yes, what did you think about, like we're talking about the laziness over here.
Right.
Yes,
and
I think.
I like that, Aminah, where he says like, take care of yourself.
Yes.
Take care of yourself.
That's also part of laziness sometimes, because, when it comes to having a healthy lifestyle, like, going out for an exercise or having exercise routine or eating healthy, that, maybe we don't like the flavor of those things.
Right.
So that's also sometimes we are lazy in taking care of our own health. And that should be a priority too, the taking care of your own health, taking care of your, mental health, physical health. We should not be lazy in those things either.
Right.
Yes, sometimes
Many times, we tend to just neglect ourselves.
Neglect ourselves, yes.
Either because of laziness or because of being too busy.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes it's also being lazy that in our schedules we don't have time for that.
Yes.
It should be, you know, it should be a priority, that physical health and mental health, because just imagine, even if you're not feeling good, how will you pray properly?
Right.
You will not have that, you know, and then, you know, our hearts, you know, they are not fully focused if you're not feeling very good. So yes, I like that point too.
Yeah, and in that, what caught my eye was to be happy and cheerful with relatives and friends.
Yes.
Find friends who are cheerful.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
So with a ready smile and an attitude of contentment.
Yeah, and in the beginning, you should take care of your appearance, wear perfume at home, keep your house tidy, and meet your husband, children, siblings, relatives, and friends looking cheerful, with a ready smile and an attitude of contentment. I like that.
Yes.
You know, and when a person is lazy, they don't have a routine, they don't have good mental health. We talked about that. And where they are not taking care of their appearance, their health, you know, then even then, you know, people don't feel good about themselves. So I think both of these points are good.
Alhamdulillah.
Now,
this was number 6. You are better off than millions of women.
This is a good point too. So over here, I think he made a very good point over here. He says, think of the world as a whole, that there's so many people over here, so many people going through so much, and you know, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah for everything that Allah has given us. So any times the negative things, because we were talking about mental health too, anytime the negative thinking comes to us, we should think like that, you know. There is a concept in spirituality, there is ghaddul basar, lowering of the gaze, meaning lower your even gaze to the blessings of other people, like, oh, so and so has that, look at that, look at that. Lower your gaze, you know, and look at the people underneath you.
Right.
So this is also very, ghaddul basar is also in terms of modesty, like lower your gaze and don't look at people. But ghaddul basar, lowering the gaze, is also a concept in spirituality. That lower your gaze, don't look at people who are higher than you in terms of their blessings. Yes, do look at them in terms of their knowledge or their endeavors. Like for example, I can say, Sister Afreen volunteers so much for the Masjid, I want to do that too, right? Yes, so that's a good thing to look at it. But to say, oh, so and so has that, and you know, I want to do, why don't I have it? Yes, then we should understand that Allah has given us much more. We should be higher than that. Health. Can you imagine the blessing of health? Unbelievable. What do you guys think about this? So dear sisters, do tell us, what do you guys think about all of this too? Do post your comments, do say something. If you want, we can take your names and, you know, talk to you from here.
Yeah, sister, they're mostly agreeing with all our conversations. Alhamdulillah. They're just saying that when we are bored, we are hungry.
That's true. That is so true.
Romana Siddiqui has said that.
Yes.
And,
well, you know, sister, that's very true. That's true.
She's also saying there is no ilaj for laziness.
Well, on point, you know, my teacher, he used to say that if you have a physical ailment, maybe a doctor can help you. If you have a spiritual ailment, maybe a spiritual teacher, a religious scholar can help you. But he would say, laziness is something that there is no ilaj, there is no remedy for that, and only a person who is lazy have to fix him or herself. No one can help that person. So right, so on point. Yeah.
Yeah, so like in this chapter, in chapter 6, for topic 6, I really felt like what you just mentioned about there's so many people really suffering and going through so much. I think no matter what situation you're in, you can still find that positivity in that situation.
Exactly.
You can still, I mean, there are people who are worse, who are going through something worse than your situation.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So if you can really look at that, then it will give you that sense of like thankfulness, gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, okay, at least I'm not in that situation.
Yes.
Think this is something that makes you think.
Yeah.
If you're always looking at people who have this, have that, like you said, then you will never feel that sense of gratitude.
Yeah, I never
You will
feel
always
that.
be like, oh, I don't have it.
I don't have
I
it.
don't have it.
I don't
You know?
have it. Yeah.
So it's really important to realize if you feel a loss, then you look at somebody who has lost more. Or if you feel like you don't have something, then you look at somebody that has nothing, or
Yeah.
even less.
Yes.
And subhanallah, Aminah, just today I watched this. I was watching something on somebody has sent it, and it was about this person who was looking to help in this coronavirus time. It was in Pakistan, and he asked his friends around, is there anywhere I can go and help and do something? So his friend gave him some address of some slum somewhere, and he said, if you go there, there's a really old lady, and she has 4 daughters or granddaughters or something, and they're very poor, very poor. Why don't you go and do something? So this guy, he prepared a box with all the groceries and put some gifts in it and all that. And he went all the way there. It was really narrow streets and all that he had to go through. He wore his mask and everything, and he knocked on the door. And this old lady came. She looked really weak and really old, right? And she comes out, and this guy says, I have brought this for you. I have a little gift for you during this time. So she calls one of the daughters or the granddaughters, and she says, come, see, one more brother has come. Brought something for us. And then the daughter takes it, and he says, okay, I'll take your leave. If you need anything, let me know and all that. And she says, no, wait, sit down, I'll make tea for you. So he says, no, it's okay, I just want dua. I just want you to make dua for me, and I just want you to make dua. So then this old lady says that, I don't know what it is, what's going on outside. I have no knowledge of what's going on outside. But all I know is it's Eid.
It's
Eid.
It's Eid. Wow.
It's celebration because we are being blessed by so many people giving us stuff. This only happens during Eid, when we really have either after Ramadan or after
when people come on Eid and they give them.
And give us gifts.
Imagine
They
that.
give us things, and that is the time of celebration for us.
Wow.
So she has no clue about what's going on outside. All she knows is people are being really nice and bringing her gifts, giving them things. So she's making dua that may Allah keep these days going.
Wow. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
I was like, and this guy who was there, he said, I did not know how to respond to her dua. I did not even say Ameen to her dua because we cannot want this.
Yes,
but that made me realize how we don't do these good deeds on a regular time. We just try to do it when something has to strike us this way.
Yes, and even within this calamity, Allah has given us the tawfiq to do a good deed.
Yes.
Through this calamity.
Yes.
Imagine that. Yeah.
It was amazing how there's people who are so less fortunate and
less fortunate
Allah
than us.
Blessed by this calamity. They are being blessed.
They are being blessed with the things that they wanted, and other people are being blessed with the tawfiq of doing good. Imagine that. So we are all even we can even say that we are so lucky. Inshallah, that even we are lucky in this regard. Sister Rafi, you will agree with me that Allah has chosen us. We don't want calamity. We don't ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But when Allah chooses us for His test and He blesses us with sabr, and then the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, who in these times when people will stay in their homes, and with this thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant us and have sabr and have full tawakkul in Allah, Allah will grant them the ajr of shaheed. Imagine, inshallah. Yeah, but that's so true. That is so true. So what is the quote at the end? Leave the wrongdoer to the court of the hereafter, when there will be no judge but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is so amazing that at the end of this, He makes you think about the quotes that put over there.
Yes,
yeah.
Chapter 7, build yourself a palace in paradise. Oh, this is again something that really is something to ponder upon.
Yeah.
Look how many generations have passed away. Did they take their wealth with them? Did they take their palaces and their high statuses? Were they buried with their gold and silver? Did they take their cars and planes with them to the hereafter? No. They were stripped even of their clothing and placed in their graves, in their shrouds. Then each one of them was asked, "Who is your Lord? Who is your prophet? What is your religion?"
What is your religion? And that's so amazing. And the ayah that follows that, imagine in this world, to build a home, we are dependent upon so many things. You know, you need to have this amount of money, you know, who earns in the home, you know, what kind of, you know, job do you have, and things like that. But over there, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Man amila salihan," whoever works righteousness, whether male or female, while he or she is a true believer, verily to him we will give a good life in this world, and we shall pay them certainly a reward in proportion to the best that they used to do. And imagine, in this world and in the hereafter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will provide them. So, you know, why not have that? You know, doing good, we will be happy in this world, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them palaces in paradise. Imagine, just imagine the promises of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, you know, we just take for granted. Yeah, imagine, this was so amazing. And again, the quote at the end, "Sickness is a message in which there is glad tidings, and good health is a garment that has," I think we can relate to this.
Absolutely. Everything is bringing us to the present time.
Present time, yes, that is true. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. So sickness is the message.
Yes.
There is a glad tiding in it. Absolutely.
You just told us a story about that.
Right.
Yes, and good health is a garment that has a price. You know, now we're realizing there's a price to all of that. Yes, true, yeah.
So then the next chapter, he starts with, again, the ayah, "There is no God but you, glory to you, verily I was among the wrongdoers."
So, anything caught your attention over here? Okay.
This dua, Aminah, this is my favorite dua.
Really?
Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-hammi wal-huzni hazan wa a'udhu bika min al-ajzi wal-kasal wa a'udhu bika min al-bukhli wal-jubn. All the things that we go through, and laziness and cowardice and debt and everything that, like,
yes, and we should make this dua very often these days, especially, you know, as the sister said, we're feeling bored.
Yeah.
And lazy and all of that. True. Yes. And then, you know, amazing point, he says, "Do not destroy your heart with your own hands." So, like, you know, the dua of Yunus alayhi salam, "La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin." We destroy ourselves with our own hands. You know, this is what the dua is all about, that you are the subhan, we are the ones, and we do that. He says, avoid everything that wastes time, such as looking at immoral magazines, indecent pictures, bad ideas, books and immoral stories. You should seek out that which is beneficial and useful, just like this book. Such as Islamic magazines, and you know, it's also good that we should know the world around us. So I would say to sisters who love to read, and by the way, I was looking at a statistics online. It is 85% the women because of whom the book industry is going on. Women read much more than men. Isn't that amazing statistics?
That's true. We know how many book clubs we have done together.
We have book clubs that we have done so far, and all the time, you know, as a teacher, I always hear these complaints. My husband does not understand Islam, or he does not pray, or he doesn't attend halaqat, or things like that. And women are more interested in coming to the classes in the Masjid, being part of this kind of a thing, right? So
men are getting offended right now.
Imam Saab is here, he will talk to them. Yeah. So, and then, you know, he says, you know, some books and magazines instill doubts in the heart and lead us astray. And you know what, especially in these times, I always say that we don't have any more choice to be a layman, especially when you have to raise kids as mothers in times like this. And this is an age of information. The children will open up and information is going to come their way. And the first thing is that they will come to their moms and dads to ask. So I truly think that there is no choice to be a layman anymore. You know, at least we should know how the basics of what is going on around us. And at least, we don't have to be experts in that, but at least we should know as much that we can maybe, direct them in the right direction. That, if you want to get some information, maybe this is the way to go. Maybe, but if you don't even know that, then the children can be doubtful and things like that. So I really think that in our times, being a layman is not a choice anymore, because the information is overload. There is my kids were telling me, Mama, the Facebook and Twitter is old now. I said, really? What's new? Because the information is so much, right?
TikTok is new now.
Oh my God, TikTok is a waste of time. Do you see the videos on that?
Yes. This reminds me of, no matter what profession you're in, there's always, no matter how high you're in your profession, you have to keep up with everything. Like they have their, for example, doctors, my husband, they have to take their board exams after a few years. They have to do their CMEs every year, do all those, complete those hours of educating themselves, keep up with the market, keep up with what's new, what's going on, what new medications are coming out, what new treatments. They have to keep up, otherwise they're lost. It's a requirement for them to be practicing. So that really, it applies to us as mothers as well. We have to keep up with what's going on with our children. And
sadly, they have associated knowledge with money making. So people keep up with the knowledge to make money, which kind of undermines the value of it. So knowledge should be for the sake of knowledge, for the sake of betterment. And now we are seeing that many doctors are coming up with stuff in this time and age that their knowledge is benefiting the world. Because if you take knowledge for the sake of the knowledge, then it will help you in times of need. But if the knowledge is associated with just money making, that knowledge doesn't help that much. So we're coming to the end of, to the chapter. So
two.
Do we have more in this? Yes.
Again, this the ayah from the Quran, all this, mashallah, Dr. Ayed has put so many ayahs from the Quran. Think about, ponder upon, understand. The most beautiful ayah from Surah Al-Ahzab. إن المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات والقانتين والقانتات والصادقين والصادقات والصابرين والصابرات والخاشعين والخاشعات والمتصدقين والمتصدقات والصائمين والصائمات والحافظين فروجهم والحافظين والحافظات والذاكرين الله كثيرا والذاكرات وعد الله لهم مغفرة وأجرا عظيما.
Subhanallah, amazing ayah. And inshallah, with that, we will come to the conclusion of our book club today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please read the next 2 chapters for the next Monday. We will see you guys again. And, be more involved with us. Read the book. The PDF is up there. And if you don't find the PDF in the comment section, go to Sunni Connect, SUNNICONNECT, sunniconnect.com. There's a whole archive of books over there. All of them are free. The PDF is available. Just go down, scroll down, click on the women, and the name of the book will appear with the PDF. And you can read the book and join us, with your comments. And inshallah, we will see you guys next Monday. Thank you so much. Jazakumullahu khairan katira, and assalamu alaikum from myself and Sister Afri. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
إن المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات والقانتين والقانتات والصادقين والصادقات والصابرين والصابرات والخاشعين والخاشعات والخاشعين والخاشعات والمتصدقين والمتصدقات والصائمين والصائمات والحافظين فروجهم والحافظات والذاكرين الله كثيرا والذاكرات أعد الله لهم مغفرة وأجرا عظيما.